Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining. If you are here, let me know you're here. Just say hi in the comments so that way I know that you're here. Got the window open because it is a bit hot, but it's a little noisy outside right now. Yeah, I don't want to close it, but it's a bit it's a bit noisy. Maybe they're done. Oh man, I'm not gonna let that bother me. I'm not gonna let it bother me. I hope everybody had a good day. I'm just really happy that it is Wednesday. But yeah, let me know how your day's going. Yeah, I'm like really happy because tomorrow is my Friday, so that just makes me so happy. I burned the crap out of my finger a few minutes ago, lighting the candle, and yeah, that was a very bad move. But yeah, my finger is still a little burnt, a little singed, but you move on. You clearly move on. I um I had a good time in Total Wine and More with my pick for this week. I was in there for about an hour. Just kind of because they do wine tastings in there too. So if you're there on Saturdays, I think from 11 to about 4 o'clock, you can catch them in the middle of the store doing tastings. And it was just a good time in there, meeting with new people and talking to some vendors and just kind of filling out which wines I wanted to try. And since I've been on this white kick and I did find some really good wines that I like, I decided to go back to a red today. But I saw this little baby in there and I think it is awesome. It's called a vacuum bin and it saves your wine a lot longer. So it's almost like you just recorked it with this same little contraption. It's so cool. So of course I bought the vacuum sealer and the cork. Well, it comes in a pack like this, but I also bought extra corks as well because why not? Hey lady. Glad you made it. So I'm really excited to try this little new find out and see how well it works. But that's good. Hi Eva. Like I said, I'm going back to a red. So this is a 2020 Cabernet Sauvignon from South Australia. Okay, don't know if I've ever had Australian wine, but we're gonna try it today. And y'all know how I feel about these twist oh, man, I brought you tequila, so you can have a drink. That first pour. Let's see how she's doing. Have you some. Enjoy. Oh, those are nice legs. So what you do with something going on, and we're gonna get to the bottom of it. Look at the legs on her. She is pretty. Smells nice. I did it. You are the hostess. You always bring the hostess something. So yes, I had to bring a bottle. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. So this one is 14.5% alcohol. And it says it's a beautifully diverse state and at its the heart of Australian wine for good reason. Coatbridge sources premium fruit from historic vineyards to craft a range of benchmark wines that are rich, smooth, and delicious. It is smooth. I will definitely say that. It's definitely smooth. It's good. It's not like overbearing. So I like this one. I like this one. I'm not gonna say it's like my favorite, but it's good. It's drinkable. But no, this week has definitely been, it's been a doozy. But I'm happy it is Wednesday. I am off on Friday, so I don't have much week left. And I will start all over again on Monday just to, deal with the craziness. It is what it is. um, if you are new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, share, comment. I do actually respond back to comments because it does make for good conversation. It also lets me know what people like as well. For those of you who are already here, make sure to hit that like button. You know what? I just recently started saying days off are a necessity. I don't have anything planned. I take that back. I don't have anything planned during the day, but in the evening I am doing an interview with a wine vlogger. So I'm excited. I don't know when it's coming out, but we are shooting it on Friday evening. And yeah. Hi, daughter. I'm really excited about that. So it's just progress to me. So I'm excited about that. This is pretty good. I wanted to eat before I started drinking, but that didn't work out too well today. But it is what it is. I'll eat after. I have no clue what I'm gonna eat, but I will definitely eat something. And yeah, so I was watching this video on this girl who was talking about guys and the type of guy that she wanted, things like that. And she had this list of just, I want to say, standards that I don't really feel like a lot of men can meet. Even men with money, I don't feel like they can meet them. And she was just firm on she's not bending on these things. And I just going, well, we all have non-negotiables in our relationships, and they are very important. But there's a difference between unrealistic and having non-negotiables. And I started thinking, what are some things, because there are certain things where it's like, oh, I know where I've been unrealistic in the past, and it does create an unharmonious situation in your relationship when you are unrealistic. So I just, was sitting there running down this list of things that I know I wouldn't negotiate on in my relationship, when it comes to how my partner and I interact, deal with each other, things like that. And I know what his are. So of course I wanted to see what, the masses say when these people do these surveys with couples. And they had some pretty good ones, but I wanted to start with my own. I am very, very firm on, if someone don't like me, you don't like my kid. So I'm not gonna bring my kid around you. I'm not gonna let you interact with my kid one-on-one, take my kid, things like that. You don't like me, you damn sure don't like my kid. So I had somebody tell me that it's not the same thing. It is the same thing because it's my kid. So if you don't like me, you don't like my kid, and that's just what it is. So I'm not gonna let you just deal with my kid like that. And I'm firm. I'm very firm on that. I'm not gonna change on that, and that's just what it is. Um, so that's just, one thing that I am. And I want to see what you guys have non-negotiables on, because a lot of people, before they're in relationships, they're like, oh, I'm not going to do this. I don't want a partner that does that. And then they get into the relationship and they realize that the things that they thought were such a big deal aren't, one. And two, you realize that not every relationship is a one size fits all. It's true. It's not. It to some people it may seem different, but I just feel like if you don't like me, you don't like my kid, because, it is what it is. I'm not about to let you just be doing no BS. Don't talk to me, don't talk to my kid, period. So yeah. But yeah, that's a better way of explaining it. Because you had every ample opportunity. With me, I am very big on chances. And once you run out of chances, then that's just what it is. So if you had time to come to me, talk to me, hash things out, because as an adult, a lot of things can be resolved with a conversation. Good communication, and a part of good communication is really listening to what the person hears. So if you had time to come up with your own conclusion and not come talk to me about something, and you decide you want to sit here and be on some BS, then you stay on that BS. But don't try and be cool with my kid. Don't think you about to come pick up my kid. Don't think you about to just be all kiki ha ha with my kid. That's not about to happen. So yeah, I'm firm on that one. I'm standing on it, and I don't care who feels any kind of way about it. So, I'm sure everybody on here has some that they don't want to deal with. And I feel like when people have non negotiables, you have to respect it, because that is something that they need for their own, personal journey that they're on. And it's fair to say, I respect that, because you can't just expect people to, just respect you without knowing what they're respecting, I guess you can say. So you have to stand by that. But the surveys that I was looking at, they all, looked at what people really looked at in their relationship, and how they don't want to lose certain identities within themselves. And it was pretty good what I came up with. So I had, I believe it was 10 that I thought were really good. This wine is making me want some spaghetti. The first one is no excessive jealousy. It's normal to feel a little jealous. I totally, it's a natural reaction to feel jealous sometimes. And I don't think people understand, like, they feel like it's a bad thing when they do feel jealous, but that's just what it is. As humans, we are jealous sometimes. You may even get jealous that, somebody that you're close to may have done something. And then when you, think about it and process it, you're like, why am I feeling this way about this person? Like, and then you eventually come to jealousy is just, it's a human reaction. And if anybody says they've never been jealous of something or someone, they're a lie. Watch out for them, because that's just not what it is. But excessive jealousy, constantly, feeling like you can't be happy for your partner, is a huge red flag, and you may need to reevaluate your relationship. So I agreed with that one, which is why it made my list. And if you're struggling with severe jealousy in your relationship, and that's a good thing, Micah. Like I said, everybody gets jealous sometimes, but you don't want to lose control of that. And sometimes it does affect you to the point where you really gotta sit there and process your feelings, and get to the logic of the situation. And I feel like a lot of times, and I know some women about to hate me for saying this, we women are illogical, and that's just what it is. So sure, you don't. We all get jealous sometimes, and it may not come out where it's like, oh, it feels like jealousy, but people get jealous. And but excessively is just a terrible situation. And you got to control that demon, because sometimes it's just your own insecurities that are making you jealous, and you might want to go through some healing, get some therapy to talk it out, things like that. But yeah. Have a passion for your own interest. I agree with that. And until I started doing this, my identity, I felt like, hey, Naya, welcome. I I don't really think I had my own passion. My whole everything, my whole life was work, taking care of my kids, maintaining it was just, and I think that made me, too much jealousy is a form of insecurity. And that's when you have to understand. And everybody has insecure moments, everybody has jealous moments, and it's just a factor of really controlling it, understanding, looking for your triggers, things like that. So once you do that, it's a lot easier to be more level-headed and even keeled. So I think it's a really big thing, and it should be non-negotiable to control that situation because, like I said, you don't want to think illogical about situations. Some pizza even be good with this too. I think I'm just hungry. I've been fasting during the day, and I'm not gonna lie and say it's not rough, but it is. It's a bit. Ugh, you just be like, man. I want somebody to show me a person that's never been jealous and hasn't been insecure, because that would be mind blowing to me. Because I know I've been jealous, and I've had moments of insecurity. So it is what it is on that one. Well, I can't, as far as I know. Now I gotta look and see if it's a survey on how many people get jealous. Thank you. Ain't she pretty? She a cute little shirt. I've been talking about it and finally pulled the trigger and did it. I'm like, yep, done branded myself. Yeah, it was. I've been talking about doing it for a while and finally did it. Man, some pizza would be good. I just don't know what kind of pizza I want right now. You know, the Domino's pizza in the black box, man, with some ham, green peppers, some mushrooms, and some feta cheese would be real bomb right now. I might have to order that. That would taste real good right now. I just want to see, you know, in the world though, like specifically, Jay, how many people just, you know, really feel like I don't get jealous. Like that's a good one. That's a good one. Cause I know, but I'm a woman too, so I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, I can't eat. I want to eat it. Oh my god. Mm. Yeah, it's rough. I had 2 cups of coffee today. Oh, nah, you're gonna do me like that. I had 2 cups of coffee today. I haven't had coffee in a couple of weeks because I really was trying to lose this weight. And I saw the scale budge and I was very proud of myself. But I was super tired when I woke up this morning. I said, I am not gonna make it. I'm gonna die and I'm gonna be cranky and I can't afford to do that. And the first cup didn't do nothing. And then by the time I realized, okay, it's 10 o'clock, I really gotta focus. I gotta get through with all my stuff. And I said, I gotta make another cup of coffee. By the time I had that second cup and it was 11 o'clock, I was freaking wired. I said, oh my God, feta cheese smells like boo-boo. Oh my gosh. But it's so good when it's mixed in with all those other flavors and it's like a party in your mouth while you're eating it. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good. Mm. Meanwhile, I'm over here acting like a fat girl because I'm over here thinking about pizza. Yeah, I would love to eat that right now. But yeah, the second one I thought was kind of a good one was having a passion for your own interests. Like I said, I just learned what my interests, you know, what really made me excited were, because I was just stuck on being a mom. Like, and when people ask, well, what do you do? Oh, I'm a mom. And that just became my identity and I didn't like it. And it was one of those where I'm like watching everybody around me have their own thing going on, including my kids. And I just needed to find my own thing, find my own identity. And like I said, dare I say it, wine was something that really made me happy. It was something I could constantly think of. It wasn't just drinking it. I liked everything about it. I liked the whole process of how you make wine. I love everything about it. So once I realized, okay, that's something I'm consistently interested in, I ran with it. And of course, here we are. But I had to have my own interests because everyone around me was having their own interests. And I couldn't just stay stagnant and not doing what made me happy. Stay at home daughter. I want my identity to be stay at home daughter. This kid of mine, I'm not, she's one of the reasons I drink. But yeah, the kid is crazy. I tell people all the time, I want to quit my job. I don't want to work, but I just don't want to keep working somewhere where I'm not passionate about. So the end goal for me is to have wine make me money. I'm really pushing towards that, and I am really focused on trying to make that the end game. So I'm excited about that. And like I said, that's my interest. Is I'm extremely passionate about it. It keeps me, I want to say, sane, because it gives me something to look forward to on a consistent basis. So I'm really excited about it. And but yeah, so that's, one of the things I feel like that should be a non-negotiable. No, I genuinely don't want to work. That is so funny because I saw a TikTok where this girl was saying, where's the Indeed for girls that just want to be a sugar baby? Because sign me up. I'm, looking for it. And I thought that was the funniest thing, but she was dead serious. People in the comments were like, oh, that's so funny, blah, blah, blah. She was like, yeah, but I'm dead serious. Like, is there a LinkedIn for that? And it was just kind of funny to me. And I sent it to a few friends and they laughed too. But I couldn't do it. I talk about it, you know, with friends and in the office, but it's not. We were at work one day, and my coworker was talking about being a sugar baby, and we started talking about Anna Nicole Smith and her situation. And I don't know. I don't think they were married long. I think they were together for a little while, then got married quick, and it turned into a situation where when he died, she just hit the jackpot, but she had her own issues with drugs and alcohol and whatnot. So it was just a bad situation altogether. So I thought that was funny because we were really talking about situations where people were marrying for money. But yeah, I don't know. That's not my interest or my passion, but I just don't want to work for somebody anymore. um Another one that should be a non-negotiable should be mutual respect. You definitely have to respect your partner. And I feel like that is a definite, firm non-negotiable. One of the things that my partner was very firm with is when, just saying I love you is enough. When things are when things are, rough is when you have to show it. So I'm a very firm believer on that is one of the ways that you show respect for your partner is, being respectful when things get rough. Because trust me, time sometimes get a little heated and you can't take back the things that you say. So you always want to make sure that you keep it respectful, and you remember you can't take back the things that you say in heated moments. And the more I practice it, the easier it does become with the people that I care about. Now, if I don't care, my mouth can get a little reckless. I'm not gonna lie. So therefore, I have to try and go a little harder on not saying certain things. But I feel like in your relationship, you definitely have to have respect, even when it comes to somebody that your partner may not be comfortable with, and they're telling you, oh, it's just respect is such a big thing, and I don't think people really understand that, but it's a big deal, and you want to make sure that that's a non-negotiable, because at the end of the day, your partner is still your partner. So yeah. um the fourth one that, to me, it was so until you really start thinking about what a non-negotiable is, and you're looking at the things that people really want in a relationship, the things that are important, you can't really, you don't really understand, I guess you can say. But I felt this one was another important one: support. I am heavy on supporting, of course, my partner, my kids, my friends, other family members, I am heavy on support. Like, it could be a random ass Sunday and I saw something that was dope that you did. I'm gonna plug you. I plug people just randomly just because it was like, oh, this is dope. Let me do it. I'm heavy on the support. I feel like that should be a non-negotiable in your relationship, in your friendships, things like that, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So, support is definitely a big deal, and it should be something that you don't negotiate with. And I'm not going to ask for something that I'm not going to give either. So, that's yeah. Um the next one, honesty. Keep it real with me. I mean, it's going to hurt me more if I have to find out something from somebody else later versus you just telling me. Now, I will admit sometimes people forget things, so it's like, okay, you can't fault them for forgetting, but just, being honest is a really big deal, you know, with, I had a a situation recently where I found out a friend, because omitting is the same thing as lying. It's the same thing. People don't often associate the two together, but leaving stuff out is just as bad as lying. And I found out a friend had left out some details on a situation, and I just recently found out, and I was like, huh. But it was one of those where I had to, process it and go, well, why would they leave that out? Maybe because I know too much and they know how I feel about the situation, so they don't want me to know because maybe they thought I was going to react a certain way. But yeah, that one threw me for a loop. But yeah, I always want to have that honesty going. uh, accepting and accepting and appreciating the differences. I didn't really, oh my gosh, I feel like such an asshole because it's not until my current relationship that I really appreciated, somebody being a total, like, it was one of those where if you aren't like me, we're not gonna make it, blah, 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 blah. I was just, I don't know. I think I was weird. I don't know if I was weird, if I was sheltered, just in a bubble, didn't see life for really what it is. It was just so many variables that had me really on some different type stuff. But accepting people's differences and seeing, how people thrive. I'm like, my current relationship just totally just changed me as a person for the better. So I see certain things a lot different, a lot different. And it's a beautiful situation. So now it's one of those where I looked at that and was like, that is a definite non-negotiable. Like, I'm not going to just look at the differences between us. Even my friends, where it's just like, no, we can't be friends anymore. Now, I was on some bull. I was on some BS, and I've learned, I've grown a lot. Yes, I still have a whole lot more growing to do because yeah, but I'm a lot better person than I was. And I am not ashamed to admit that, because it's like when I think about who I was back then, it was like I was such a vain person. If you didn't fit into this book, I guess you can say, um, it wasn't a good thing. But I was very, you had to fit into my cookie cutter opinion, not opinion, my cookie cutter idea of what things were. And now I appreciate people for their differences. I respect people for their differences because that's who they are. And not every different is going to fit into, your realm that you want, but you learn to see what you can tolerate and what you won't tolerate, and be understanding of it. And I think that is one of the dopest things on the planet. So I think people should be firm on that, just being accepting of it, because people are so different. And I've got friends that I rekindled relationships with that I don't know, I cut them off because it was just like, oh, I was, like I said, I was still on my BS. And because of that and me accepting certain things, I feel like we have a better relationship now because of it. So I think it is a top one for me. And like I said, everything that I pulled from these surveys that I read, different articles, like I said, they're all things that are realistic versus unrealistic. Like, oh, we got to have 6 figures. I don't want to work. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Well, what do you want to do? But yeah. A sense of humor. Now, that has been something of mine from the time I was a little girl. Like, I want to laugh. I want to joke. I want to play. I want to have fun. If I can't do that, there really isn't going to be a relationship. Like, that's just something that is a breaking situation for me. Like, I need to be able to laugh with you. We got to joke, have fun, just be free. Not saying all the time is a joking matter. Well, we've been in some situations where it should have been a serious situation and found ourselves laughing. And I feel like that is a good thing too, because no one wants to be with someone where things get rough and you can't make a joke out of the situation. You got to be able to laugh some shit off sometimes. Sometimes you got to be able to say, fuck it, that was just life. And, roll with the punches of it, because man, life be life thin and you got to get through it. But yeah. I mean, and even with my friends, like if my friends and I can't have a moment, seriously, like if you can't find some kind of joy even in the fucked up stuff that's going on, you out of here. You are out of here. Like there are certain things where it's just like, come on now. Yeah. It's one of those things. But everybody I have around me brings me joy. They add such substance to my life in many different ways. Like no one that's in my life that's in my, as I say, my close circle of friends that I really say, okay, that's my friend. Yeah, I have some homegirls. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's my girl. But my friends that I'm like talking to on a regular basis, like if you ain't never got a TikTok from me, we probably are not friends. You are not my friend. We are cool with each other, but we're not friends. So yeah, I said it, and I'm pretty sure somebody's going to be offended by that, but who cares? But yeah, I need people in my life that are gonna, just have fun with life, not take life so freaking serious, because life will kick your ass if you do. And I'm tired of having life kick my ass. And sometimes I want to laugh at the ass kicking I'm getting. So yeah, that's a big deal. Y'all see, I'm sipping my wine. I'm not over here drinking the hoe. No, not the TikToks determining friendships. When I say that, meaning like I don't send them to everybody, because people be thinking you weird when you do certain things. But when I send certain things to people, it's because I thought about you when I'm watching it. And if I think about a person, I'm like, oh, I don't think they'll appreciate it, the way that I appreciated it. I'm not going to send it because I don't feel like we're close enough to do that. I have friends, and I love it, that send me TikToks. They send me reels on Instagram. They send me videos on YouTube, and vice versa. And I think it is the coolest thing, because it's like in that moment you thought about me, and I like it. And sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're emotional, sometimes it's something where I can learn something new, and they thought about me the same way I'm thinking about them. So yes, I feel like that is one of the things that I look at as determining the closeness, I should say, of what I have with you. So yeah, if you ain't never got nothing from me, then we're probably not that close. and I wouldn't say you're my friend. We're cool with each other, things like that. So that, I feel like that determines a certain level of closeness too. And sometimes they are dumb as hell, but that's why they're not my friend either, because they dumb as hell. So I can come up with my own stupidity. I don't need somebody else to add, and it's funny because I'll know when something is stupid and I'll be like, that's funny because I processed it and I realized, okay, that was kind of dumb. And sometimes I'll say, depending on how close we are, I might say the stupid to that person, like, just to get it out. Like, I really did that. I really thought that in my brain. And yeah. So it's funny to me. I can laugh at myself. I have no issues with laughing at myself because sometimes I'll be like, that was pretty freaking dumb. But, whatever. That's the sense of humor. I didn't have one. Oh, no, they don't. Don't say that. The TikToks don't be dumb. My TikToks be bomb. And anybody that get TikToks from me, they know my TikToks be bomb. And if you on here and you got a TikTok from me and you ain't backing me up on this, when I see you, we fighting. But yeah, I'll move up because my TikToks don't be dumb that I send. Uh, Another non-negotiable, and I think this is a pretty big one: family relationships. Um, Thank you, Naya. See, Naya, no, that's my girl. That's my girl. Because we friends. I am big on family, but in my journey with healing and being better and practicing certain things, I do understand that not everybody that is family is meant to be in your life. So those that are meant to be there, I am big on. But they still thought of you when they sent it. So, you know, uh, not everybody that's in your life is meant to be in your life, whether they're family, friends, things like that. But it's even harder when you have to cut loose a family member, like somebody that is your blood, you may have grown up with. Could be a, a sibling, a parent, things like that. And it is very hard. But when you do genuinely appreciate the family members that you do hold close to you, you have to respect your person that you're with in, nourishing those relationships. I tell my partner all the time, I think that his relationship with his one brother is the dopest thing on the planet. Like, I wish I had a sibling that I was close to like that. And I like it. I wish I could, be that close to somebody. Like, man, like, yeah, that's my sibling, but that's my best friend at the same time. So it's one of those where you just like, and even because of him, I've learned to cherish, I guess, relationships more with certain family members. And then there are those where it was one of those where if it was harmful and damaging to me, I had to learn to let go because I don't need that in my life. I don't want that in my life. And I don't want to have that affecting me negatively where I can't function a certain way. And yes, it was hard at one point, and now it's not as hard because it's a non-negotiable. I'm not going to drink that much tonight because I still have to eat and I'm going to drive when I'm done. So I don't want to be drunk. I might have some more when I come back though, depending on what I get. I don't know what I'm going to eat, but I need to eat. I'm going to eat something. And it's going to be slightly healthy. Well, it will be healthy. I don't know what I'm eating, but no, I am going. Girl, how much tequila did you have? That's the better question. But family relationships are important. I don't know where I'm going to get something to eat, but I'm gonna get something after I'm done for sure. I just don't know where I'm going. It might be El Pollo Loco because it's close. I can give me a tostada salad and call it a day. Or I might go to what's that place? I don't know. It's another place close by where I can get a quick salad, but I'm not gonna lie, I'd be hungry. I'd be hungry, and that pizza is, man, it's sounding mighty good right now. But it's yeah, I feel like that is a big deal. And Michael, when you come out here, we gonna go to El Pollo Loco. We going to El Pollo Loco. We gonna have a quick Atherton reunion at El Pollo Loco. I think it was an El Pollo Loco near Atherton. That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm gonna have Michael on one week, and we gonna talk private school life because man, man, man. Funny story. While I'm on this topic, I had gone to a bar some years ago, and the bartender told me I looked like a PK, and I sat there for a few minutes and had to process what the hell that was. Like I was really sitting there, like, what the hell is a PK? And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like looking, and I took a couple sips of my drink, and then it hit me. They just called me a freaking preacher's kid. And I'm like, if you only knew. I mean, that private school life is man, it is something else. It's something else. Yeah. Yeah, we lived a different kind of life, and I think that's what skewed my vision on the world and put me in this weird bubble. But that was my life. um but yeah, cherish your family, relationships, and be there with your partner with that. Like if they, if you both cherish your family relationships, you will have a good outcome. The next one is shared. Man, I find myself doing it too. And I taught it to my older kids when they were young. Public school is, man, I'm telling you, I feel like we need to do a whole different conversation on that because I went to private school the majority of my life. So seeing my kids go through this public school system, it was just like, what is, oh my gosh, is this what goes on? Where did you learn that from? Is that what you're talking about? It was just a wild, a eye wide opening experience. Even when I finally got to go to public school, it was a situation where I'm like, what am I seeing? But I went to a predominantly white public school. That was the only way I was going to get to go because I wanted to go to a whole different school, but that wasn't happening. But yeah, we gonna have a whole separate conversation on that, and it should be fun. It should be a fun situation with this whole privacy, and it wasn't just private; it was a Christian school, so it was another realm of you know rules and life lessons that we went through. Going through that, and but yeah, um, number 9 that should be a non-negotiable is shared future goals. I feel like that is a really big thing to have going on is to, have certain things that you both want to, you know, lead towards when you're in a relationship because you want to know where your relationship is taking you. So it's one of those where it's like, even if it's something like, oh, I want to buy a house together. We want to have a baby together. We want to, get married. And not everybody wants those same things, but, those are shared future goals. Oh, I want to have a business with this person. I want to do this. I want to do that. You have to know what you're looking forward to, and you have to know what you have going on because if you don't have anything to look forward to sometimes it kind of, I feel like it might hinder the relationship a little bit, but you definitely want to think about those things. Um, and the last one, and I feel like that is a big one, is having an open mind. Again, living that private life, it skewed my objectives on reality. I really had a warped sense of reality, and having an open mind is something that I want to say maybe within the last year or so that really just kind of became something that felt more natural for me. And you really do have to have an open mind on a lot of things, because I'm not gonna lie, I was so judgmental on a lot of different things, whereas I'm not now. And it's easy for me to be like, okay, I can understand, or I could see why this would happen, or you're a lot more understanding of those things, in your relationship, and accepting and things like that. But I really feel like that is a firm non-negotiable, is not having an open mind. It's like, why are you with that person if you're not being open-minded to certain things? It doesn't matter whether it's sex, trying new things, or uh, different foods. Some people really are foodies, and they are very adamant about wanting their partner to try these things with them. Not saying all the time your partner is going to do it, but when it's something that's important to them, if you're not open to it, that could, break the relationship. And sometimes you have to know when to say yes and when to say no. You don't say no all the time, but that's the open-minded part of the situation, is knowing when to say yes and when to say no. But it's such a big deal, and I think a lot of people don't understand that you do need to be open-minded in relationships. And that is kind of hard. I've noticed when people say that, they're like, oh well, they want to do this. It's like, well, why don't you understand why they want to do it? Why don't you see that maybe this is something that they need for their journey, that they're going through to get things done? Or, even if you judging what they're doing, it doesn't make sense. So you definitely have to be open-minded, and I feel like that should be a non-negotiable. And again, none of you guys are telling me what your non-negotiables are, and you probably were waiting to see what I came up with to even say anything, because like I said, a lot of people do have unrealistic thoughts on what a non-negotiable is. And it I feel like it does hinder your relationship at the end of the day, because you're sitting here with these unrealistic thoughts about what you want, what you think you want, and it's not reality, and nobody can live up to certain expectations. So you just got to think about that. So, yeah, it's definitely, I thought it was a good, situation, because this girl, when I say she was too much, it was like pee on yes, that should be something that should be worked on. If your partner says it more than once, it's clearly important to them, so you should start taking heed to it and trying to rectify the problem a lot more frequently. I'm gonna leave that little gem with everyone. um, they gotta be able to build something, because I can call my dad, so don't make me. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when your kid is, I mean, I don't feel like that's an unrealistic expectation, because I'm kind of with her on that. My grandpa, who raised me, was very, he was good with, building things and fixing things. And I feel like he did. So that whole saying that a girl's dad is, her first love. At first I didn't understand it. And then once I really and then once I fell into the right relationship, it made more sense. It became something I was able to say, that makes sense. I totally get it. And you start to look at things a little differently. And the way a dad is with his daughter does mold a girl for the type of guy that she wants. And you don't realize that you have these unrealistic expectations a lot of the time, until you meet the right person and you're like, huh. So they better build a dream for me. I'm just saying. And there are so many different things that, to me, my grandpa was perfect. Even if, he had his faults. My grandpa was perfect. I don't care what nobody say. And if anybody try to say anything different, I'm gonna fight them on it because I know what I know and I know what I feel. So when I, finally realized, oh my gosh, I have somebody that makes me feel the same joy that I felt, when my grandpa was alive, and oh, this is I got it. I got it. And it's one of those, definitely you really have to look at your partner and see, those things. How do they open you up? How do they make you feel? And it does make you reevaluate your non-negotiables. So you have to, if you are still in a skewed objective of what you want, you're probably not with the right person, dare I say it. So it is what it is. But too many people are looking for the wrong things and in relationships for the wrong reasons because they feel like society is telling them certain things to do, and this is what you have to have in order to be in that type of relationship goals situation. But I feel like it's dumb. You really have to look at what brings out the best in you. If that person is bringing out more negative than positive, wrong situation. You need to renegotiate everything about yourself and that relationship. But if they're bringing out more good in you and making you look at the best versus the worst, even in situations where it's like you may not always understand, that's that open-minded thing, then yeah, that's when okay, I'm on the right page. So yeah. And some of y'all still ain't, talked about your non-negotiables. But I'm not gonna push, if you don't want to, tell, because it could be a situation where it's like you might feel a little sensitive about it. Y'all, really am excited about this, that my vacuum vin, but this one got a twist top, so it'll last a little bit. But I'm really excited to use this new find. When I hit 100 subscribers, I think I'm gonna do a whole little package with a bottle of wine, the vacuum vin, and I don't know what else I should put in there. But I'm gonna do a nice little wine package when I hit my 100 subscribers. People keep laughing because I be excited about my milestones. My child and her astrology. I'm a Pisces. Hairy legs and armpits. That's funny. That's a non-negotiable. I mean, I can't believe I just laughed like that out loud. Yeah, that's funny. Hairy legs and armpits. I mean, hey, we all have vain non-negotiables too, because yeah. I'm not gonna say what my vain one is on here, but I have a vain one. Yeah, I do. And I kind of laugh about it. I think I've talked about it before to friends, but yeah, we've all got some vain in us, and that's okay. That is totally okay. But that's funny. That took me off guard. Hairy legs and armpits. But if no one else has anything they want to contribute to the conversation, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up. Big feet on a woman, especially bigger feet than mine. Yeah, I feel like that should be, even, oh, what if they tall and they feet fit their body? Is that still a no deal? Because there are some tall women with big feet, like she your height, she got her feet match her body. Like, is that still a no-go? Yeah, she got to be tall if she gonna have them feet. Because if you short and got big ass feet, bigger than the man you with, that's a problem. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. They got to be able to drive, because I definitely can't. No, you can't. You can't. But I'm gonna shut my mouth on that one. Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, I'm trying to think, because I've been a lot more open minded lately. a lot more open-minded. I don't know if I have any other non-negotiables. Hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't think I have any others, but the ones that I did look at when they were surveying uh another man, it's just crazy. Or even I feel like one of mine, and it may not be a no, it's a non-negotiable. If you can't call me out on my bullshit without me really thinking about it, that's a non-negotiable. Like, I need to be with someone that's going to be able to call me out on my bullshit and tell me I'm on some bullshit without me getting offended and hurt. I mean, of course I'm going to be affected by it. It's not like something where it's just like, oh no, I'm just like, yeah, I'm on some bullshit, but if you can't call me out on it without making me think about what I'm on, then no. Yeah, that's a non-negotiable. Because then I don't respect you. Which, so that goes back to the other one. But yeah, I need to be with somebody that can do that, which I am. So, even my friends, like, we can't be friends if you can't call me out on my shit. So, yeah, I feel like that's a non-negotiable. But I don't really have a lot. I mean, I did. They were unrealistic, like homegirls were. But yeah, the more I grow, the more I see I was a non-negotiable. Oh man, that's funny to actually say out loud. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna start wrapping this up. If you haven't already hit that like button, please do it now. And thanks for joining me. I will be back next week with a new topic. Same time, new bottle of wine. I'm gonna do a people's choice, so be checking my Instagram to see and vote, because that'll be the wine that I feature next week. So thank you for joining and have a good night.